Everyone, good evening. My name is Steffi, and I'm an executive at Mahatatva. And I welcome you all to another session of Global Educators. And this time we are doing problem solving progressive pedagogies. And we have again a beautiful panel with us. So I'll just start by sharing my screen. So I'll start by introducing all the first speaker itself, and we also have Deepthi ma'am with us. She is the CEO and the founder of Mahatatva. Because she is away from Delhi, she's having a little bit of connectivity issues. I think she's here. Hello, ma'am.
I am here. Yes. Good evening,
Great.
everyone.
Okay, so
Um,
sorry.
I'm just going to start with welcoming Shilpa and Bhupendra to this forum. They are officially part of the WhatsApp group that we have, and I'm delighted that these are the two people who are going to talk about problem solving. We all know that there are bits of problem solving in all aspects of our life, and whether it is PBL, problem based learning, or it is design thinking, all of that invokes the very essence of solving the challenges. I don't actually like calling them problems because it gives a very negative connotation. We always say challenges. But the phrase, of course, is problem solving. So we will be talking about problem solving today. And how the format will fall through is that Sneha will give us a little bit of a perspective about problem solving, the various ways it can be used in the classroom. And then, of course, Shilpa, from her own expertise and experience of K 12 and the older children, will give us the life skills aspect of problem solving. And of course, Bhupendra has opened up his classroom for us. We will be looking at how he uses problem solving in his classroom. So, over to you, Steffi. We look forward to a brilliant session today as well. So thanks, Steffi and Sneha, for organizing and coordinating all of this. Over to you, girls.
The first speaker that we have is Miss Neha Roy. She is an executive at academics at Mahatatva itself, and she is a social science facilitator. And she obtained her education from Jesus and Mary College, University of Delhi. She holds a professional teaching degree in elementary education. Along with that, she has worked in schools, drawing from her experience teaching in innovative and convent school setups. She is now eagerly exploring opportunities within education transformation programs at Mahatatva. So I'll just pass on the baton to you, Ms. Neha. You can start.
Thank you so much, Steffi, for that introduction. So, I will be beginning now. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So, all right. Imagine this situation. Your best friend's birthday is coming up, and you need to get her a present. Okay. So you think about what you should get her, and you realize that over the years this person has changed a lot. They have different likes and dislikes now. Maybe they have developed a new taste for new things. So you think you start curating list of things that you could get for that person. You will also look back at the goods or stuff that you must have gotten that person before, and how they reacted to that. Now ultimately your goal is to bring a smile on that person's face, right? So after considering your current resources, and also the likes and dislike of this person, you end up getting something for that person, right? Now this was a challenge which you had, and you solved it. So we all are solving problems on a day to day basis. There is no skipping problems, right? So what exactly is a problem? A problem is when in any given situation, you have to reach a goal, and you really don't know a path which you have to follow to reach that goal, right? So yeah, you have to employ your own understanding, and the ways in which you chart out a course of action and then reach your goal of achieving that, right? So that is what we call a problem. So there can be various ways in which you try to solve a problem. It will involve systematic observation, it will involve collaborating, and it will also involve critical thinking. Okay, so imagine this: you are in class, school may, it's a maths class, and the teacher has given you a maths problem to solve. Okay, so you know that you have to apply a certain formula, right? Follow certain steps, and in the end, you know that when you do this, you will arrive at an answer. Now, that is what problem solving was. The idea of problem solving was years ago. No, it was considered to be a methodical skill, something, something which is machine driven, something like solving mathematical equations. But eventually, over the years, when a lot of leaps and studies were made in human psychology, and lots of cognitive theories came up, which has, like, these cognitive theories have revolutionized education system today. So similarly, when these things came up, problem solving, it came to be seen as, um, as complex cognitive skills that you have. So it involves a lot of intellectual processes. And today, you view problem solving as your ability to resolve problems when there is no immediate solution at hand. Okay, so the competencies of the understanding of what a problem is, it has evolved over the years. From being mechanical, it has come up to this point where we view it as something that is, that is of a higher order cognitive function. All right. Okay, so two major skills which are involved in problem solving framework are: number one, observation, and then critical thinking. Now, as educators, I don't have to reiterate this all, like, again and again, the importance of developing the observation skill in students, and the impact that it has on the future academic prospects of the students, right? So observation, what does it mean? When there is a difference between looking at something, seeing something, and observing it, right? So observation is, is when when you focus your attention on something and you systematically look at it, you see it, and then you try to understand it, you try to comprehend it. So when early opportunities for observation are given to students, when early opportunities for observing things in organic situations is given to students, it leads to better academic performances in future. you know and also critical thinking. Now, what exactly is critical thinking? So when you come across a WhatsApp forward, uh, and which may have a lots of misinformation and disinformation, your ability to find out if it is something that you should believe in, that involves a lot of critical thinking, right? So critical thinking involves reasoning efficiently, it involves asking the right question, asking clear questions, it involves looking at things from different perspectives, bringing in the viewpoints of other people too, considering their viewpoints too, with you might be, when you are able to look at a pattern, or maybe when you are able to look, to predict something, that also becomes a major uh, skill that comes with critical thinking. So when you are solving a problem, you are deploying these two skills now: observation and critical thinking, right? So in today's fast changing world, nothing is nothing that we have today was the way it was 10 years ago. Things are changing at a rapid pace, right? So if the needs of this world are different, and problem solving is amongst one of the fundamental um, 21st century skills that needs to be fostered, right? So it involves, as you know, that it is a vital skill, and it is one such skills which is going to um, empower people to overcome obstacles and look for better opportunities, right? So it is important that problem solving skills are inculcated in students. Okay, because none of us are free from problems. We are solving it, be it in real life or even in a professional sphere. We all come across challenges. So it is a fundamental 21st century skill, and it is a fundamental 21st century skill which we need to inculcate in our students. So but are classrooms really um, are our classrooms really up to the mark when it comes to inculcating that skill in students? That is the question that we need to answer. In a classroom where a teacher is in the center and the students are at the receiving end of information, can they develop problem solving skills? I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Sorry about that interruption. Always okay. So when we talk about classrooms today, uh, in today's world, be it the new education policy that our country is implementing, or the plethora of schools which are coming up, who talk about involving innovative pedagogies in their curriculum. Problem solving is something that has to become a part of the curriculum practice itself, right? So teaching problem solving, it involves engaging students in investigation, engaging them in collaboration and critical thinking, and pushing them to apply the knowledge that they have learned in different situations also. So it involves preparing students to come up and solve real world problems which they may encounter in real life, right? So it is an active learning approach. So it's in today's world we talk about a lot of active learning strategies. So when we talk about active learning strategies, we employ a lot of active learning pedagogies in our classroom. So through these pedagogical practices, problem solving can be taught to students. Okay. So, and what will come out of all this? Our students become future ready, and they will learn how to face a world that is always evolving, always changing, because these skills are going to make them adaptable to new situation. So that is the whole idea here. So let's look at a few active learning strategies which can be employed by teachers to teach students these problem solving, problem to inculcate the problem solving skill in students. All right. So we have some active learning pedagogical practices like the project based learning. So it involves in depth investigation. So students are investigating on on a real world problem, and then they are creating a project out of it, presenting their findings. And then there is the problem based learning. Again, collaboratively the students are studying a real world issue, and they're trying to think about a viable solution to this problem, by coming up with you know with solutions which might not have been thought about before, or improving upon already existing solutions, right? Then we also have design thinking in education. Design thinking is something which is being employed by big companies like Netflix and Google too, right? So design thinking is something that is now being used in education too. So again, in this, students they have it teaches students empathy. They identify challenges, they gather information about it, they generate a potential solution, a prototype, they test it, and then if the test is not successful, they go back, do the cycle again, and arrive at an understanding till they find a solution to that. So that is there. Then inquiry based learning. Inquiry, the word itself, it means questioning, right? So inquiry based learning again is a active learning strategy in which students are encouraged to ask questions, students, the teacher as a facilitator tries to generate a lot of curiosity in his or her students, and then the students come up with the right, the questions about things which they want to know about. So that is there. So that's all from my side. I hand over the presentation to Steffi so that she can call on the next uh, presenter. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Neha. Moving forward, we have Mr. Bhupendra Kumar Jahangir. Mr. Bhupendra Kumar Jahangir is the head of AI Robotics and ATL and SDF at OP Jindal Modern School. His areas of interest include programming, robotics, AOT, uh, AIML, innovative teaching, and app development. He holds a certificate from the University of London for the course Teaching with Technology. He has also completed an online course on the Introduction to Internet of Things from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Bhupendra sir is passionate about programming, AI, IoT, robotics, embedded systems, and app development. He aims to develop economic solutions that uplift livelihood and actively shares knowledge to make a significant impact on education. I welcome you to the session, sir. You can take over.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope my screen is visible. Steffi, can you please make it sure? Is my screen visible? Yes. So, as the topic is problem solving, let's try to make it very simple. What's problem solving is? A lot much has been shared by my fellow speaker. So I won't make it much difficult to you all of you. That the problem can be find near about these all keywords: where, who, why, what, how, which, when, whom. So, whenever we say problem or the challenge which we see near around, how to try to solve them. So, the traditional approach of the problem solving says lot many steps. Here you can see the major one: identify, then define, then explore, and action, and a look back. So, all these process, if you follow, you can solve any problem.
The
And
quality of Indian
if we try to make it in a more detail,
education is one of the poorest in the world.
Steffi, will you
Just to give
please
you a
look
data
into
point,
it? Uh, I think there is a different slide went on. Yeah. So, so if we see what is the problem solving, it is more structured, just like finding a way in a puzzle. So it is a more structured way, and the traditional approach, where we see and find the solution on the basis of analysis. That's this problem can be solved in this way, and we look back and try to solve it. But nowadays, the problem solving, as the ma'am said, it is solved using a design thinking. So it's a emerging way that how to solve a problem. So problem solving in a design thinking approach as a 21st century skill, how would we change those steps? These steps has been changed into now empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So let us see why and what are these terms and the importance of each. Just like empathies, what is design thinking is all about, including all these steps, we have the creativity and empathy in the focus so that we can create a creative and innovative solution with the help of design thinking approach. First one is empathize. Consider we have the same feeling and the same pain who is faced by somebody else. Considering and a common example in our society, in our neighborhood, we had a problem since ages the overhead water tank flow problem. So you might have heard समटाइम्स अ ह्यूमन वॉइस बेटा पानी की टंकी भर गई है उसे बंद मोटर बंद कर दीजिए एंड नाउ वी हैव द ऑटोमेटेड वन पानी की टंकी भर गई है कृपया मोटर बंद कर दें एंड मे बी द सम ऑफ द ऑटोमेटिक वन अर्लियर वन द बॉल सिस्टम so the people come up with a solution that okay, how can we overcome this problem? So just like a blind people can understand the pain of the blind people only, we cannot have the empathy towards them, we can only have the sympathy. So try to empathize the problem, try to understand the problem on behalf of the user or the stakeholder. So right now we try to define what exactly we will have to do. So first we have identified that we have to stop the motor or the pump just before the overflow. What else can we do in the design thinking? Yes, we can start the pump or the motor before the underflow as well. So in the design thinking, while we are discussing all the other opportunity, we have also think that we can turn on the motor as well. And all the operation must be safe in the contactless to the water. Why it is so? Let's discuss in the next slide. And we can save the water as well, and the economic solution must be there. So let's try to ideate. In the ideate, we create an algorithm or the flowchart how the complete flow will take place, and then we finalize the board or the controlling machine by which we are going to control each and every step, and what kind of sensor we will going to use, and the actuator going to turn on and off the motor, and identify the hardware and the software requirements. Meanwhile, during the ideate phase as well, we can perform the major popular analysis, that is called SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, so that we can look into the every aspect of the ideation of the solution. Next, just like we have done the ideation part, we have done the uh, writing part. Now we have seen the solution, just like the first one image. Different wires were initially dip into the water tank to check out the level. And then in the second one, the electrical wire just before the overflow has been inserted. And similarly, different symmetric are there. So now we have observed that the major challenge is the risk involved with the water, that it is the conductivity of the water has been used to raise an alarm or maybe control the motor. So it is when the AC into the water, it is our lives at risk. So that gives us a chance so that we can overcome this problem. So now the next step is the prototype. So in the prototype, we have shown a simple sensor which is contactlessly work with the water and check it out the level of the water. And on the basis of that logic, we can control the pump. So this is the prototype. That is properly working prototype. And now, once the prototype has been tested at this level, we have to test into the real environment. In the real environment, we may receive a feedback, and we may receive a problem as well again, so that we have to work upon, and we may need or work on the future scope as well, so that we have the scope of improvement here, and we can further improve on our model. So these are the steps involved for the design thinking process. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Now I hand over to the Steffi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to just remind you all once that you can surely use the comment sessions and ask your questions or anything that you would like to share. You can just put it down in the comment section and we will surely discuss it further. Now, I would like to introduce and invite Miss Shilpa Bansal. Ms. Shilpa Bansal is a BTech from NIIT Calicut and executive alumni of education leadership from IIM Calcutta. Ms. Shilpa has conducted seminars, workshops, and classes in major cities like Delhi, Gurgaon, Mumbai, and Hyderabad, as well as in remote locations such as Tarantaran on the Pakistan border and Rayadhara in Shimla. She specializes in teaching quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, and logical reasoning for entrance exam preparations in India. Ms. Shilpa is passionate about making professional education accessible to all and guiding students to finding a place in the growth story. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us, and I'll hand it over to you. Do you want me to just show the video?
Yeah, Steffi, we can start with the video and then I'll start. Thanks.
Great.
In 2003, we conducted a controlled experiment. We gave a very simple test to students who had passed BTech in computer science. The average mark obtained by them was just 3 out of 100. Just about 3 months ago, one of my former colleagues conducted another test. While 95% of the BE in computer science got 95 marks out of 100, when they were given problems that had been solved in the class by the teacher, they got 3 out of 100 when given problems that had not yet been solved by their teachers. So therefore, I think our education system has to be enhanced.
Hi everyone. Before I start, I really want to see. Can you all comment on the comment section? Do you agree with Narayan Murthy? I hope you got the gist of it, right? When in 2003 back, when he took a test, right? Students are we are talking about Indian students over here. So they are very comfortable with the questions which they have solved it previously. But if a new question comes up, right, the marks is kind of pretty bad. So first and foremost, can everyone quickly comment on the comment section to agree with Narayan Murthy? Okay, okay. Okay, I would love if you disagree also. Absolutely, I would not mind if there is a disagreement also, because that's the whole idea about interacting over here, right? Even I hate to agree. Okay, there's a democracy over here. I hate to agree with Narayan Murthy, but this is a reality. This is a sad reality, which is for the. I can just keep. I'm seeing the comment section, and I'm getting lots of totally agree, right? So this is a scenario, and in fact, pizza, right? Not the pizza, PISA, right? Which is a program for international assessment of students, which is conducted by OECD. So back in 2009, when they conducted the test, they had a similar result, right? What was missing? Why exactly the students are not able to perform, even though our Indian students are absolutely amazing in maths? India and China, in fact, right? They are pretty good. So what exactly is the problem over here? So let me get my background also over here, like, what I have seen in my 21 years of taking classes. So basically, this is test prep. In Delhi, I was with Career Launcher, and in Bombay, I was with IMS. So in 21 years, when I have been taking classes on quantitative aptitude, I find kind of very emotional. Like, what exactly is the problem here? Where are we missing? The students have major problems in the quantitative aptitude, like, basic maths. So when I start the class, there's always, so if I talk about, and I'm talking about students from Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, right? Majorly the metro. To talk about cities like Ahmedabad, Baroda, Indore, and Bhilai, Nagpur, Raipur, and all, where I've taken classes, their students still have the fire in the belly attitude, which helps. But majorly, one common thing is that the students are facing some issues with the basic problem solving skills. And if you are asking me which students, so I'm talking about students of class 11th and 12th who are preparing for CLAT, IPM. I'm talking about students those who are preparing for CAT, GMAT, GRE. So they are the engineers, graduates, and working professionals, right? So all these students, where exactly the problem lies, right? In fact, back in Delhi, when I was taking classes, students from Hindu College, majorly from Bihar, majorly students from Bihar board and UP boards relatively were much better off compared to students from CBSE, ICSE. In fact, I had the worst experience with the IB board students, right? And please understand, I'm talking from entrance exam preparation. And mind you, entrance exam preparation, like for CLAT, GRE, GMAT, CAT, and all, it is a test on the application. It is not testing the knowledge of a student, right? Here, IQ is not important. Here, attitude matters more. Like, how does a student go through the paper? How does he know which questions to select? Does he know the time management? Does he know his strength and analysis? So how does he cope up? Like, when a question comes in, does he have the macro way of solving? Does he know which are the options? So can he adjust both, the macro micro methods and all? So this is a problem, and I'm so happy that Deepti invited me for this session so that I can find solution along with you guys. Like this is not a lamenting session or a whining session. This is a session where can we try addressing the problem? Can we find solution to this? So the whole slide, I'm going to take you through this, and I would love to hear from all of you. So this will be totally in terms of what is the solution. So let's talk about the context, right? We are living in a crazy world. I would say a disruptive. The terminologies to use today's world is disruption. There is this technology is changing at exponential rate. So whatever we are teaching the kids, it just goes obsolete. So the main question today comes in, what do I teach? If I teach C, C++, Java, what exactly? Because it's an AI world. So should I teach, the computer language? Should I teach Python? Should I teach them Mandarin? So by the time, the student has done it, chat GPT or computer already know this. So the whole question comes in, right? What exactly to teach in this changing world dynamics, right? So we don't know the kind of future. We ourselves are kind of, we don't have a story. What is the narrative? Where is the world going in 2050? What will be the things which we are going to see around us, right? Okay, so next slide. So here comes the balance, right? So when there is so much disruption changes around us, it is the balance that is I'm talking about. Teaching the students just not the STEM, right? Not just the STEM subjects, but also humanities. And in fact, it is really great that National Education Policy 2020 addresses this. Right. And that's why it has given a very clear instruction to all the higher education HEI institutes that they have to integrate STEM. Right. So even in an IIT, even in an IIM and all, they have to integrate humanities also. So we cannot have just a student solving step by step, very analytical. For example, the IIT student, right, who goes in 11th and 12th in another total different ecosystem, and he totally misses the world, right? The creativity, the whole humanities, the art, ethics, right? So today we are living in a fused world where we need to ensure that both are connected, like both are happening, right? So it is just not one way, right? So here we have a micro method of solving step by step, right? So I'm going to use some mental models to explain, because the one question which we are addressing here is, what do I teach, right? There is so much of information, there is so much of information around us. Probably this is one of the time, this is the time where we are living in an over communicated world where we send more and receive less. So what exactly is the thought process to go on from here onwards, right? So a mental model where I can balance my micro skills, where I usually in India, you have seen students are very comfortable, give them a question, they will have the step by step way of solving and getting an answer. But the macro way, right? Can I go with the output base, just not the input? Can I be comfortable? Can I be flexible, right? Taking both the output, what is required, what the question is asking, and accordingly taking the inputs. So something like in Sudoku, if you have seen, right, where we have to balance both micro and macro. So that's the balance I'm talking about, which is not going to be easy. So that's what the slide shows about. Uh, I hope I'm making sense over here. Can I quickly see in the comment section? Are you with me? Okay. Rote method and not real problem solving. Yes, you got it. Absolutely. So here, yes. So we cannot have that industry 2.0 way of rote learning. Definitely. Spoon feeding is a strict no-no, right? So definitely now the whole question comes in how, yes, we need support from the parents. In fact, I think we educators have a huge task in our hand to ensure that, we are able to show this to the parents. We are able to convince the parents also. Yes. Okay, great. Great to see all of you commenting over here. Right. So, of course, what is needed in today's world is definitely the skills. In fact, I would prefer that all of you read the India Skill Report 2022, which clearly gives facts about how knowing a skill helps in getting the job, right? It gives you that edge, right? Because when you talk about jobs here today, it is no more of just knowing one domain. It is about collaboration. It is about critical thinking. It's about communicating. Like, I have a brilliant idea, but am I able to express it to someone else? Can I understand the context in which I'm talking about and present my solution? So a context. So in fact, you would have heard the 4 C's: collaboration, confidence, critical thinking, right? And one more I'm missing: confidence, collaboration, critical thinking. Can someone give me one more with C? One more with C. What are the skills? Creative thinking, right? Yes, creativity. So we need all the skills together, right? To make sense in today's world. Yes, Pooja, absolutely. Creativity. Communication. Sometimes you can also say coherence. Can I connect the dots? Can I make sense? 21st century skills. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, Pooja, creativity, absolutely. So the problem solving steps. So in fact, I was amazed when I read even in a psychology book, the problem solving thought process. If you come across any problem, so this is just not from general quantitative aptitude per se. In fact, it is for real life also. If there is any issue or you need to, there is a problem statement, what exactly is the thought process? So number one thing would always be, can I define the problem? Many a time we have our preconceived biases and preconceived notions, and we somehow assume and not actually read it, right? So one of the most important thing is, without any bias, can I understand the problem? Can I define the problem? What exactly is the question over here? Right. So defining the problem, right? That would be definitely the number one thing when a question comes in. So when I say define the problem, I'm also talking about communication, in the sense, can I understand the language? Can I process the language with, so if you've seen reading comprehension, it is just not about can I read, it's about whatever the author is saying, can I listen to that author? Can I make sense what the question is asking without using my prior knowledge that last time in a class the question was done like this, hence this is what the question would be asking. So can I just see the question stand alone, make sense what exactly is the question asking, right? Yeah, if you can write it down, absolutely, Julie. That is one of the most important thing. People say that journaling, like, can I write down the question? It helps, right? And that's where maths comes in, because we have symbols to aid that writing process. Language has got so much of big words and the fancy words and all, but here maths make things much simpler, right? So can I write it down? Can I jot down what exactly is my problem statement, right? Then comes, once the question is defined, then comes in, I need to get data, right? I need to gather the information to solve this problem. So I'm not going to go to Wikipedia and find out all possible data, right? It has to pertain to the question, right? As per the question, the relevant data, I need to find it out. And then comes the processing, right? The processing in the sense, I have read the statement, I understood the question, then I have my information. Now comes connecting the dots, right? And I think that is one of the most important skills today, in the sense, when we have so much of information, how do I connect the dot and make sense of this data, right? Then comes usually the traditional way of solving, which is a microwave. Usually students are really comfortable with the step by step thought process, which has somehow got ingrained in their mind. Sometimes it is like a muscle memory that automatically they take the steps and they keep solving, right? And they have that beautiful feeling at the end when they put that two dash, when they get the answer, right? So that is a traditional way, one way of solving. But please understand, today in a problem solving scenario, we need a microwave also, right? So other than the microwave, so here I'm going to the flexible way. Can I have the flexibility that can I see the question in a different perspective, right? Can I see the question? Is it important for me to use all the information? Maybe not. Most of the information might be redundant. So can I take the decision making? Can I use a macro way and get my answer faster, right? So speed definitely becomes the essence over here, right? And I have to quickly change the mode from micro to macro, and I have to be really comfortable over it. And maybe it's not about, did I get an answer? That's a wrong question. It's about, okay, I had a thought process, but did I reach somewhere? Fine. I did not reach, fine. There has to be a different thought process, right? So the whole idea is iteration. I'm okay with the iteration. I'm okay with making mistakes, right? So today, one thing is that even when a student gives an answer, it should never be that fine, that is the answer. What was your thought process? Why did you come to this particular thought process? Yeah, story reading habit is helping a lot in developing skills. So students have to read extra books apart. Yeah, Tejal, I would agree, right? Extra books apart. But the mental model which I'm talking about throughout would be something about, like, the whole mental model is, whenever the data is given, what do I have the flexibility? Am I confident to make mistake? Am I confident enough to accept my mistake, learn, and again start solving. So this comes through practice, but that's very important that I'm ready to take risk. When I talk about microwave, definitely I'm talking about taking a risk. So today in entrepreneurship or anywhere you see in any of the startups and all, risk taking is mandatory. You need to have that kind of guts. So that's where we talk about microwave, where you don't do, you don't waste time, but definitely you take a risk, right? Okay, great. So this is the problem solving steps. Now, let me see. Are you guys literally listening, or you're just passive listeners over here? So I'm going to make you solve a question. Now, I have explained you the mental model, right? Listening to the data, defining the problem, maybe jot it down, then getting that information, then connecting the dots, solving with both macro and microwave, right? So let's together solve a question where we are going to use this. So the whole thought process in problem solving class today is the implementation, right? There is a lot of information, but the whole idea is, are we, yes, we are we. So I'm going to make you guys solve a question, right? It is the only thing which you need to solve this question would be, can you read English? Of course you can, right? But yes, you can read English, but the whole idea is, can you make sense of this data which I'm going to show you right now? Then can I connect the data and arrive at an answer, right? Risk taking helps in new challenges, Sneh, Lata, absolutely. Yeah, Julie, calculated risk, absolutely. So are you guys ready for question solving with me, right? So you guys are all amazing crowd over here. I can see you guys are all putting in the comment section. So are you guys ready for the question which is coming up on your screen? I'll give you some time. There is no pressure, and I would love wrong answers. Please go ahead. There is no judgment over here. I would prefer that even you get a wrong answer, that's all right. So let's see whether you can implement this. I hope all of you can see this beautiful question out there. In case, I'll just read it out for you, but I'll give you some time, right? So there is this family of four, and they need to cross a old bridge. It's a rickety bridge on Vaitarna, and it's pretty dark, and they just got only one torch between them, and there are four members, okay? And they take different time. Like A takes 1 minute to cross the bridge. If B alone crosses, he takes 2 minutes. If C alone crosses, C takes 5 minutes, and if D alone crosses, it takes 10 minutes. These are the individual time. But there are some constraint in this question, okay? Only maximum two people can cross the bridge at a time. There is only one torch. So someone has to come back with the torch. So for example, if A and D cross, the time taken will be as per the slow one. So if A and D cross, they will take 10 minutes. So if A comes back, that is 1 minute, right? With a torch. And my question is, I need you to make sure that the whole family is on the other side of the bridge, right? So what is the minimum possible time? So it's a unique answer, right? What is, yeah, Tejal, that's what I'm reading the question, okay? So in short, the question is, four guys have to cross the bridge. The constraints are maximum two people can cross. They have only one torch. So someone has to come back with the torch each time, okay? A takes 1 minute, B takes 2 minutes, C takes 5 minutes, and D takes 10 minutes. Tejal, I hope the question is clear. Oh, and Deepthi Gupta. Okay. Nice. I'll give you guys time. I said, right, this is implementation when I'm talking about problem solving, right? So here, of course, you all are able to read, right? Now the whole question is, there is so much of data. Answer is 19. Okay. Yeah, Dipti, I saw your answer. I'm waiting for, I said, right, I would wait for all answers, right? So I need each of you to try, because please understand that getting a wrong answer is a huge learning process. It is a huge learning process. Lena, okay, 17 minutes. Deepak, 19. Okay. Can I have more answers? Guys, I hope you have a pen, paper and all. Right. So you'll be more comfortable, right? Somehow we are more comfortable, like, writing. Today, I would have some challenge because I would also prefer to scribble on the screen. I might not be able to do it, but you guys can use. Okay. Nita gives me a 19 and Ashu gives me a 17. Okay. Yeah. I need more responses. Julie, okay, 17. So I'm getting both 19, lot of 19s, and yes, 17s also coming into the picture. Okay, Manju Singh, 19. Usha, 17. Okay, 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 okay. 19 minutes. Surabhi, Manju Singh, okay. Oh, a lot of 19s, huh? So nobody is interested in 16 and 22, right? I'm just getting two popular answers over here. Okay, 19, 17, Pooja Arora, Jyoti, Pushpa Dayani, Tamanna also has a 19, Pooja Arora, Kiran Jamwal has a 19, Pushpa 19. Some of you are giving me the answers again and again. It's okay, but I'll let you wait. That's the whole idea, no suspense. Is it correct, right? The first question is like, just tell me which one is the correct answer. Sushma, yes, 19. Jazz, 19. Okay. 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 Cool. Snehalata, I saw your answer before also. I think you were probably one of the first person to respond there here. Okay. So I can see the restlessness. That's nice. See, that's the whole beauty of problem solving, right? It engages you. It's like, what could be, and it's right. And somehow the answer is like pretty important over here. Like, when you're solving, like, what was the thought process? Answer? Should I say the answer, guys? Or you need more time? 19 minutes, Shweta Pathak. Okay. 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 19 minutes. Okay. Yes, Ashu, I get that. Let's discuss this, right? Let's get this sorted. So yeah, so I did mention here in this thought process over here, right? Gathering the data. So the data was like very clear over here, right? Mungino, we are getting into the solving. Uh See, majorly 98% of the janta gives the answer as 19 minutes. So, you know what? Whenever we take a class and all, the first thing is a diagnostic test. Do I understand my crowd? So, when we do take a diagnostic test, I have some data. Or, in fact, if I don't have a data, put one question like over here, when the students, those who have given me a 19 minutes, are a hardworking, really, that very excelling in that micro methods of solving. So, 19 method is step by step thought process. You get the answer as 19 minutes, right? When you solve with that. So that tells you about the student over there. Like, okay, I got 19 minutes, so you have to get that. So my work over here would be, can I get that flexibility? Can I get that adaptability with the student? He might be very comfortable and he's really good with that, right? 19 minutes. Answer is definitely 17. Answer is 17 minutes, no doubt. So 19 minutes information is important. So if you have gotten 19 minutes, that means that you had solved with a regular trial and error method where you are like, the first thing that goes in my mind would be the one who takes maximum time. That is a problem with me. Like, I don't like the 10-minute guy. So what normally happens is that you start with A and D, who crosses and takes 10 minutes. A comes back. I would prefer A coming back each time because he's just taking 1 minute, right? So that's a thought process normally. So A and D crosses 10 minutes. A comes back, which is 11. Okay. Now A takes C. That's the second problematic guy. So A and C crosses, they take 5. So we got 11 there. 11 plus 5, which is 16. Then A comes back, which is 17. Then A takes B in the last, right? In the last round, A takes B, which is 17 plus 2, 19. Right. But here the question was very clear. I need the minimum possible time. So this is a macro way of micro way of solving. Now let's talk about the macro way, right? Like in engineering drawing, we have this top view. Can I see the problem from, like, in when students write an SOP, we talk about, like, can I see where do you stand? Don't just write why MBA, why this college, right? What you want to do in your life and how is that college helping you, right? So here also the thought process will be, can I have that macro way of thinking, right? Rather than just doing it and making sure each person reach on the other side. So in a macro way of thinking, can I say 5 and 10 are taking maximum time, right? 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Do I want to send them separately or together? 5 and 10, what would I want to do? I would prefer to tie them together. They should go together. But I cannot send them in the first round. I cannot send them in the first round, right? Because someone has to come back, right? But C and D have to be together. The 5 and 10 minutes have to be together. So who goes in the first round? A and B, right? The thought process in a macro way, you're thinking that 5 and 10 have to be clubbed together. So A and B will go in the first round, which is 2 minutes. 1 and 2 crosses, they take 2 minutes. Everyone with me, right? A and B crosses. So when I make A and B cross, what happens is that one time A can come back, one time B can come back with the torch, right? So let's say, so I'm doing it, how did we get the answer at 17 minutes? If there is any doubt, please ask. So A and B crosses, they take 2 minutes. A comes back, which is 1 minute. So that is what? 2 plus 1, 3. Now, when A comes back, he gives a torch to C and D, right? He gives a torch to C and D. Okay. Now, C and D will take 10 minutes. No, 5 and 10 crosses. 5 and 10, when they cross, they'll take 10 minutes. We already have 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 1, 3. Now, C and D cross, that is 10. So, 10 plus 3 is 13. With me, right? C and D crosses. Once they reach on the other side, they give the torch to B, right? They give the torch. So, B is on the other side. So, B comes back with the torch, which is 2 minutes. So we already have 13, right? 13 plus 2. B comes back with the torch and A is on the other side, right? So B comes back with the torch. So we have 13 plus 2, 15. And last round, we have A and B crossing, which will take 15 plus 2, 17. Right. I would have preferred to write it and show you. I know writing always gives a better clarity, but I hope you're clear. The answer is 17 minutes. Right. So this thought process is the macro way, thinking outside the box, right? Not just my micro method, right? So can I think in a larger scale and ensure that 5 and 10 are clubbed together, right? If 5 and 10 are clubbed together, accordingly, I'll make sure that they are crossing, right? So that's what. So can you guys quickly tell me in the chat box if you're clear, or you want me to explain it again? Is this clear? 17 minutes. I need to see the comment. Please ensure. Right. So 17 minutes is A and B are the first one. They take 2. A comes back, which is 1, which is 3 minutes. After that, C and D crosses, which is 10. So we have 3 plus 10, 13. Then we have B coming back, which is 13 plus 2, 15. And in the last round, we have A and B crossing. Right. Very clear. Okay. Buffering clear. Okay, Tamana, that's nice. Okay. So okay, so the answer is 17 minutes. So that's what I'm talking about, macro way. So can we introduce a flexible way of thought process where we are not saying, so it's something like I use this analogy of a cricket, कि जैसे बॉल आता है उस हिसाब से मुझे बैटिंग करना है. तो you cannot just go in the pitch and decide that this will be my thought process based on the type of ball, based on the type of, if it's a fast ball, yorker or whatever, my batting will depend on that. So similarly in problem solving and all, here your prior knowledge and all would not help. Like I usually solve the question with this way. So can I be very comfortable? So can I be uncomfortable? Can I unlearn? Right. So the whole thought process is, yes, whenever we start a problem solving class, it has to start with an unlearn. Like please remove all your biases, conceptions and all. Right. Remember school day solving? Yes. Right. So in fact, that's the whole idea, in my experience. If we can have more of problem solving, like the students these days are smarter, believe me. I always find them like they have information which is like amazing. So here our whole challenge is like, how do we take an engaging class? How do we ensure that we get their attention, especially in today's attention span problems and all, right? And ensure that they even if they don't get the answer, the thought process matters a lot. So that's all for me, all from me. Right. And if there's any questions or anything, I would love to hear. That could be any questions if you have. I would love to take it up. And thanks, Neha and Bhupinder. That was amazing, the problem solving skills. So together we are all done. And if there is any questions over here, clear. Okay, great.
Thank you so much, man. It was amazing. It was actually amazing. I really loved the problem solving. I would now request all the speakers to join us.
Sneh, one more question. One more question. I have truckloads of questions. So if next time Deepthi allows, right, I'm going to take that session, right, ensure that, this problem solving, all of you are using macro and microwaves are solving or not. So yes,
The
definitely we can have one more.
the energy, Shilpa, was like eclectic. I mean, it was the energy was. I mean, I can imagine you in a classroom with the children going bonkers and enjoying themselves, listening to what you have been saying. But as usual, I'm going to be the person who sums up the session for today. I think when you talk about problem solving, we spoke a lot about the various kinds of problem solvings that we can do in our classrooms. And thank you so much, Bhupendra, for giving us a practical example and something that we can see every day on our rooftops, and that's something the children should get started, and they should start thinking about that. I think what Shilpa said, I completely endorse about asking the right question. That is so important. If you don't come to the point where you are asking the or driving the correct inquiry, you will not arrive at the answer. So asking the right answers is something which is a takeaway for all of us here. I think when we talk about problem solving, there are so many of them. There's so many problem solving methodologies. People have invented their own as well. For me, the special preference is design thinking, because it gets the children to empathize, and for me empathy is a huge skill for the children to know. And thanks again, Bhupendra, for opening up that skill set for us. Other than that, I think receiving constructive feedback, uh, to undergo these iterations after feedback, and what Shilpa, what you said, mistakes become a part of the learning journey, and that is something which is beautiful. So thank you so much, both of you, and of course our very own Sneha, who built the context for us today with a lot of research that she's done into the presentation that she did and initiated. So thanks a lot for that, Sneha, and I'm very feeling very, very proud right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in and sharing your expertise and knowledge. It's a pleasure hosting you. Bye bye, everyone. Have a pleasant weekend. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.